Thank you very much, and thanks to all the previous speakers and all the participants for being here and to discuss about such an important instrument and such an important part of the society, the peasants and our rights. I come from Romania, from Eastern Europe, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing in our region. I'm not just going to share the experience from Romania, because my organization has been working for the past years to build an alliance in Eastern Europe, Caucasus, Western Balkans, and also Central Asia, to work together in coordination to build the peasant rights and to build a context where our rights could be realized. We believe that it could be much more successful to work at the regional level, because Eastern European countries also have a similar context, and we are being affected by the same problems. We have young democracies, and we are learning together with political class how to navigate the current problems. Our context of work is the most difficult we ever had in our lifetime. We are facing a war, an unprovoked war by the Russian Federation, which is affecting the entire region and also Europe as a whole. We have problems with armed conflicts in many countries in our region, also civil unrest, and the word crisis as is being more and more used. We feel it profoundly at so many levels. It's very difficult to mobilize and to build a political dialogue to make our voices heard in this context, but we do feel very motivated, because if we don't change things now, the future generations will continue to face these problems with dictatorships and authoritarian regimes, which are for us the biggest problem in our society for us as peasants and rural people. There is an enormous concentration of peasants and all the diversity of peasants and small food producers, indigenous people, pastoralists, and so on in the region where we work, in Eastern Europe and in Central Asia. So this is again for us a richness and a motivation to use UNDROP to build this favorable context for implementation. I will give you several examples from several countries of how UNDROP was used in the past few years. For example, in Romania, my country, we used it in the national debate on the CAP reform, on the reform for the Common Agricultural Policy, for building the National Strategic Plan. We used it unsuccessfully, unfortunately, because the vision of our government is very economically oriented, and they don't put any priority on social issues in public policies for food and agriculture. We used it also successfully, UNDROP, in various legislative processes, particularly in legislative process for animal husbandry, which would have restricted the rights for peasants to reproduce piglets in our households. So by making a case that this is a peasant right, we managed to stop the restrictions happening. I would like to also give you examples from other countries. For example, in the Republic of Moldova, our neighboring country, there is a very interesting process at the Constitutional Court happening. Republic of Moldova has the right to food stipulated in their national constitution. And we are trying to use that together with UNDROP to change the national framework on the seed legislation, and to include the right to seeds in the national legislation, to accommodate the right to food as well, to accommodate also the prerogatives for the right to seeds. It's a pioneer process. We haven't seen a similar process in other parts of the world, so it would be a first experience that we hope to be successful and also to share it with peasants in other countries. In Kyrgyzstan, other examples, in Kyrgyzstan, in Central Asia, there are currently legislative processes opened for reforms on land and also on seeds. And we are using, our partners at national level are using UNDROP to try to include as many prerogatives for the right to seeds and the right to land in these national legislative processes. And finally, in terms of national examples, is Ukraine, one of the most important work for us, because peasants in Ukraine are facing life and death situation, defending their land against the aggressor, against the occupants. And together with partners from the National Small Farmers Association and independent landowners, and also academia and other NGOs, environmental NGOs, we're working on building a national mechanism to monitor the violations of the rights of peasants during war, during wartime. There are multiple violations of our rights, and we are trying to use this process to build solid channel of communication with national authorities, with the presidency, with the parliament, the government, and also we're using the UNDROP for the reconstruction process of Ukraine, where we believe that we can make a very good case for the small food producers of Ukraine to be an important part of the more important part of the economy and the reconstruction process of Ukraine, to build to bring stability and also welfare to the people who are now sacrificing for defending their country. And finally, an example that I want to share with you is a regional example of a project that we have been developing with FAO. FAO, the regional office for Europe and Central Asia, has been very supportive and very collaborative with us. We managed last year in the regional conference to include the promotion for implementation of UNDROP in the strategic multi-annual plan of action of FAO. And we have this project for training national authorities, particularly from ministries of agriculture, but we also had participation from the presidencies and also from different committees of agriculture from the parliaments in countries from Eastern Europe and Central Asia, countries who are not members of the EU, countries that are program countries for FAO. And we had the participation of approximately 15 countries so far, and it's been a first project that we hope to continue. We need to keep this partnership with FAO to keep the doors open for dialogue with governments in the region. And I just want to share finally a last thought with you. Why is UNDROP important for Eastern European peasants? For us, it's important to build democracies, to engage rural people, the poor people, in democratic processes, because otherwise, unfortunately, if we are marginalized and continue to be discriminated against, we are going to fall victim to the populism, extreme right populism especially, which is rising everywhere in the world. And we need to resist to dictatorships. We need to resist to authoritarian regimes. And for that, rural people are essential, because in a society where you have oppressed people in the rural countryside, or neglected or left behind, these are not healthy societies, and we cannot really develop healthy democratic systems. And this is what we need more than ever. And we are trying to use UNDROP for bring this kind of stability and this and democracy. Thank you.